All right, new research just released suggests that our kids could have lost years of learning during the pandemic. So were the lockdowns and school closures worth it? And what is the real basis for this? Let's discuss. Educational researcher Dan Goldhaber. It's good to have you, Dan. Thank you for doing this. Make the case. How do we know this is the case?
How do we know the cases that the lockdowns were harmful or that we're behind in terms of educational progress?
Both.
Well, we know that the lockdowns were harmful because there weren't universal lockdowns during parts of the pandemic. And so you can basically look to see what achievement looked like, between two different points in time. Some of the cases where schools were closed or they were closed for in-person instruction, and some of the places where they weren't, and look at how achievement varied across those two different conditions.
Right. I mean, I can't find a parent that will disagree with you.
Closed.
I can't find a parent. We all had the same lament, which is having these kids at home. They're not getting taught. They're not paying attention. It's too hard. It's remote. It's boring. Not to blame the teachers. My question is this. I get it. You're right. I'm not arguing that point. We know that the pandemic sucked for everybody and everything. However, weren't we doing lousy before when it comes to reading and math? Weren't we constantly getting reports that things were on the slide? Why is it any different now?
So I think that a lot of this is in the eye of the beholder. In the United States, we've had a long-term upward trend in student achievement, but arguably it is too slow over a long period of time. And what we saw is with the pandemic that basically student achievement stopped trending upward and had a pretty substantial fall.
Oh, that's very interesting. So you're saying that the trend, I guess I was falling prey to the hype. I keep hearing that American kids are falling farther behind in STEM and that we don't achieve the way other countries do. You're saying that that hasn't been true until the pandemic?
Well, they're not exactly. American kids have had a long upward trend when you look at the nation's report card, NAEP tests. But then it's a little bit of a different picture if you look at how American kids are doing relative to kids in other countries. So there are a lot of countries where educational achievement has caught up to where the United States was before the pandemic. Of course, the United States, when you look back in time, was well ahead of other countries in terms of educational achievement. So it's not so much that American kids know less than they did back in the 1970s or 1980s. It's that other countries appear to have made progress at a faster pace than we have.
So explain to me what the urgency gap is and what the fix is for what the pandemic wrought on our educational system.
So I would say the urgency gap is that we know empirically that kids are pretty far behind where we would have expected them to be in the absence of a pandemic. They're roughly 3 months further behind in math and a little bit less so in reading tests than we would expect. And public opinion surveys tend to suggest that parents think that more or less things are back to normal. So I think that's the urgency problem. The solution, I think, is multifaceted. I mean, I think schools have to be pretty aggressive in terms of pandemic recovery interventions, everything from, various ways of getting kids more schooling to tutoring and pull-out and push-in programs to assist them. But the problem is that a lot of those kinds of programs are going to more or less require that families are participating. And so I guess I would worry that if families think that there's nothing wrong, then with some of those kinds of programs, they may not participate. So summer school is a great example. Summer school is more or less voluntary. When kids use various digital tools at home to help assist them and, on-demand tutoring, it's voluntary. So I think that families have to get the message that their kids are not where we would expect them to be in order to participate.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's
fact-driven coverage.